Chosen one, have you ever truly understood what it feels like to be abandoned in the deepest, most decisive chapters of your existence? I'm not speaking about an empty room or physical isolation. I'm talking about the crushing loneliness that hits when you're surrounded by people, yet not one single soul can grasp the storm raging inside you. You cry out for understanding. The words escape your lips, but they fall into silence. No one truly hears, no one truly sees. Now listen closely, because what I'm about to share will forever transform the way you look at that painful solitude. That was never abandonment. That was your final examination. And exactly 7 days ago, quietly, without fanfare, without any human witness, you passed it. You passed with a score so high that the unseen councils of light had to call an urgent assembly to determine what should happen next. Your degree of soul maturity has no equal in your entire personal timeline. Tonight, precisely at 3:33 a.m., an event is scheduled that only takes place when a human spirit successfully completes its sacred initiation. The heavens are preparing to crown you. This is not beautiful poetry or symbolic language. This is a literal occurrence in the higher planes, where divine authorities will formally acknowledge that your transformation is complete and that you are now authorized to carry a level of spiritual strength that would have shattered you in the past. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on all notifications, because what I'm about to unfold about why you passed a trial that broke millions of others, what the 3:33 hour truly signifies, and what shifts in your reality the moment heaven places that crown upon you, will finally allow you to see why you had to walk through that private inferno no one else could perceive. Stay with me until the end. I will show you exactly what you did 7 days ago that triggered the celestial graduation sequence, why 3:33 this morning is not random, but a divine appointment written before your first breath, and the 3 unmistakable signs you will notice within the next 24 hours, confirming your coronation has been sealed. If something subtle but undeniable has shifted inside you recently, something you can feel but can't fully name, type 777 in the comments right now. But before I reveal exactly what will unfold at 3:33 this morning, you first need to grasp the true nature of the exam you passed 7 days ago. This was no ordinary trial. It was a specially crafted evaluation designed to measure a quality that 98% of souls on Earth never fully develop: unbreakable character. Let me show you how genuine spiritual testing actually operates. Not the softened, polished versions you may have heard in Sunday services. Every soul must pass through 3 distinct levels of assessment before being entrusted with authentic spiritual authority. Level 1, tests of obedience. This is the beginner stage, where the soul is observed to see if it can follow guidance when an external authority is clearly present and watching. Think of a young child behaving properly only because the parent is in the room. Many people remain at this level their entire lives, doing the right thing out of fear of consequences or desire for reward. Level 2, tests of conviction. Here, the evaluation deepens. Can the soul hold fast to its principles when powerful social forces push it to bend? Picture a teenager refusing peer pressure to join destructive habits even when everyone else is participating. This demands greater inner strength than level 1, yet it still relies on conscious awareness and deliberate choice. Then comes level 3, tests of automatic character. This is where the vast majority fail, because this level does not measure you when you're awake, alert, prepared, or even aware that you're under scrutiny. It measures you when you're shattered, drained, emotionally bankrupt, running on empty, when conscious thought is barely possible, in that state of total vulnerability, when you have no strength left to perform, when you respond purely from your deepest core without any mask. That is when your real character stands exposed. It's similar to those hidden camera experiments that reveal what people do when they think no one is watching. except in level 3 spiritual trials. Not only are no humans observing, but you yourself lack the energy to monitor your own actions. You simply become what you truly are. And 7 days ago, between roughly 6 p.m. and 9 p.m., you were placed in precisely that condition. You don't recall it as a test because you had no strength left even to notice you were being evaluated. You were too worn out, too shattered, too empty to think clearly or choose deliberately. You were running on instinct alone. But here is what actually took place in that hidden hour, even in complete depletion, when no eyes were on you, when no one would ever know if you chose the lower road, when every excuse in the world justified giving up or striking back. You held your line. Perhaps someone wounded you with unfair cruelty, and your automatic impulse wasn't vengeance, but quiet dignity. Perhaps a hidden shortcut appeared, one that would solve everything and leave no trace, and yet something inside you simply refused, even though desperation was screaming otherwise. Perhaps confidential information landed in your hands, and your first reflex wasn't to spread it, but to shield it. The exact scene isn't what matters. What matters is that, in the moment when your soul had zero energy to perform, when the mask was impossible to hold, your goodness still flowed. It wasn't rehearsed, it wasn't calculated, it simply was. And that single, unguarded demonstration stopped the celestial record keepers in their tracks. They paused every other process to witness it, because you proved your integrity is not an act you put on when you're rested and watched. It is woven into the very fabric of who you are, so deep that it activates even when your conscious mind is offline and your body is broken. Chosen one, that is the irrefutable marker that a soul has finished its sacred metamorphosis. Organized religion often misses this central truth. The entire purpose of your journey is not to collect more facts about the divine. The purpose is to become so thoroughly remade that divine qualities become your default setting. Jesus didn't teach study love. He commanded love your enemies. He didn't say comprehend forgiveness. He said forgive 70 times 7. Because true transmutation doesn't live in the intellect. It lives in who you automatically become when control is gone. And 7 days ago, when you instinctively chose integrity in that moment of total exhaustion, you triggered what ancient writings call spiritual graduation. This is not a phrase I created. It is a precise term preserved in the mystical writings of many ancient traditions. The instant a soul proves it has fulfilled its initiation and is qualified to shoulder greater spiritual responsibility, to receive formal recognition, and to be crowned with authority. Now let me explain why your coronation has been set for exactly 3:33 this morning. That hour is never accidental. It ranks among the most potent windows on the spiritual timetable of the cosmos. Across mystical lineages on every continent, specific times are acknowledged as portals when the boundary between worlds become as thin. 3 o'clock in the morning is widely known as the hour of souls, or the hour when spirit draws closest, because human mental chatter reaches its lowest volume while spiritual frequencies reach their highest intensity. Why does this happen? Between 3 and 4 a.m., the majority of people on Earth are submerged in deep, dreamless sleep. Their thinking minds are switched off. The constant background static created by billions of restless thoughts grows quiet. In that rare global stillness, higher dimensional operations can proceed with far less distortion and interference. But 333 carries an even deeper layer of meaning. In sacred numerology, used reverently in every major spiritual tradition, the triple repetition of 3 is recognized as the signature of divine completion. Trinity, Trinity, Trinity. This is not folklore or coincidence hunting. It is a repeating mathematical imprint embedded in holy texts across time. Jesus began his public mission at age 30 and was crucified at 33. David ruled in Jerusalem for exactly 33 years. The human spine, literal pillar holding consciousness, contains 33 vertebrae. Again and again, the number surfaces at decisive points of spiritual fulfillment. When 333 begins appearing in your awareness, it is never meaningless chance. It is the intelligent universe speaking in the only language that reaches those whose inner eyes have opened, synchronicity. So tonight, at 3:33 a.m., while your everyday mind rests and your ego's usual defenses are lowered, the Celestial Council will activate a protocol described in esoteric records for thousands of years, though most modern people dismiss it as mere symbol. They will crown you, and when I say they will crown you, I mean they will perform 3 precise, permanent adjustments to your energetic structure, adjustments that will forever change the way you move through this reality. First, activation of spiritual authority. This is the subtle yet unmistakable frequency that causes your words to carry a different weight. It has nothing to do with volume, eloquence, or clever phrasing. When someone who holds genuine spiritual authority speaks, even quietly, the soul of the listener recognizes truth on a level deeper than the mind can argue against. You've felt this before. Certain voices, certain teachers, certain moments when someone spoke and the recognition hit you in the center of your chest, not just in your thoughts. After tonight, that same resonance will live inside your own voice, not because you are superior, but because you have endured and passed the exact training required to wield influence without corruption. Second, activation of energetic sovereignty. This is the inner frequency that renders you largely immune to external manipulation, fear-based control, and the collective emotional turbulence that drags most people into reactivity. It does not mean you become emotionless or that challenges disappear. It means a profound core stability takes root, so deep that outer storms may sway you, but they can no longer uproot you. Starting tomorrow, you will notice that triggers that once sent you spiraling into anxiety, anger, or despair simply lose their grip, not because you forced the feelings down, but because your entire energetic foundation has shifted to a frequency those lower patterns can no longer reach. Third, activation of intuitive disc. Ernment. This is not intellectual analysis or heightened guessing. It is direct knowing. The ability to sense truth versus deception, alignment versus distortion, without needing to reason your way to the answer. After tonight, you will begin to experience moments where you simply know. You meet someone and instantly perceive the essence beneath their words and smile. You hear a story, read a headline, watch an event unfold, and the real current beneath the surface becomes obvious to you. You stand at a crossroads and clear inner guidance arrives, not as a loud voice, but as an unshakable feeling of what is true. This is not supernatural talent. It is the natural outcome of a soul reaching full maturity, gaining access to layers of reality that remain hidden to most. And here is the key point about these 3 activations. They are not rewards handed out to simplify your path or elevate you above the crowd. They are instruments assigned to you precisely because you are now equipped to carry out your unique role during this pivotal era in the human story. If this transmission strikes a chord deep within your spirit, and you wish to fuel the ongoing delivery of this sacred guidance that has illuminated the path for countless souls returning to their essence, consider offering a super thanks. Your support, regardless of size, generates a sacred flow of energy that magnifies this wisdom and directs it to those souls who are ready to receive it. The cosmos always rewards those who give from the heart. Now let me describe the 3 clear indicators you will encounter over the next 24 hours, proof that your coronation has been fully carried out. First sign, exceptional clarity of mind. When you rise tomorrow, your thoughts will feel transformed, sharper, calmer, as if an unseen hand has wiped away fog from a window you never realized was clouded. Endless loops of worry will quiet down, draining fears will recede into the background, and in that open space, answers to dilemmas that once felt impossible will emerge effortlessly. This isn't forced optimism. It's the direct result of your awareness being elevated to a superior vibration, where obstacles that loomed large at lower levels dissolve on their own. Second sign, profound physical peace. Tomorrow, a tangible sense of calm will settle into your chest and core, a serenity untouched by whatever chaos swirls in your outer world. Your circumstances may remain unchanged, your challenges still present, yet this steady undercurrent of tranquility will persist without explanation. This is energetic sovereignty embedding itself into your physical form. Your cells will register on a fundamental level that you are protected, upheld, and precisely positioned in your unfolding story. Third sign, flawless synchronicities. Tomorrow you will begin encountering alignments that are far too precise to dismiss as mere chance. You think of a person and suddenly their message arrives. You require a particular piece of knowledge and it materializes right before you. You hit an obstacle and the perfect solution appears exactly when needed. This isn't fortune smiling on you. It's the natural alignment that unfolds once your spiritual graduation is finalized. When the cosmos begins rearranging circumstances to match your elevated state, trusting you fully with that degree of orchestration, if these markers begin a P, ring in your experience, share the word crowned in the comments to let others see your confirmation and draw strength for their own paths. Now I must alert you to a vital danger that could unravel all you've achieved if you don't stay vigilant, the lure of spiritual arrogance. When you awaken tomorrow sensing that mental sharpness, that inner calm, those seamless coincidences, a subtle pull might arise. To view yourself as exceptional, elevated above the rest, finally superior to those still wrestling with their trials. Fight that impulse with everything you have. Here is the reality: receiving a crown does not place you above anyone. It places greater weight upon your shoulders. Every soul on this earth occupies the exact position required for their personal evolution, some just starting out, others midway through, a few nearing the end, but all travel the universal road of inner change. You have simply crossed this threshold. That does not make you greater. It makes you available for broader service. And if you let that arrogance seep in, if you start silently critiquing others for lagging behind where you now stand, your coronation will fade, not in an instant, but steadily. Those three empowered frequencies will dim because the cosmos reserves true authority for those who lift others up, not those who climb upon them. So when pride whispers, when judgment stirs toward someone still entangled in battles you've transcended, pause and recall 3 years past. Recall your own shattering moments. Recall the countless stumbles before your breakthrough. And choose compassion over criticism, humility over hauteur, unity over division. Now let me reveal the soul force capable of stripping away your crown once it's best owed tonight. And it's not the divine, not dark forces, not outside events. It is you. The crown you receive tonight is not a fixed ornament locked onto your being. It is a living, energetic signature that remains active only as long as you consciously uphold the same integrity you demonstrated in your final test. The one and only force that can remove it is you, through deliberate, knowing choice, not through accidental slip-ups, not through fleeting weakness, not through honest human imperfection. Only through a calculated decision to betray your core principles for personal advantage, status, control, or gain. Once crowned, once those three authorizations are fully online within your field, any intentional misuse of that power, manipulation, domination, deliberate harm, triggers severe, accelerated consequences because real authority carries real responsibility, and the misuse of real authority generates instant, multiplied karmic return. This is precisely why the Level 3 examination is so mercilessly thorough. This is why the celestial overseers tested you again and again before granting approval. They required absolute certainty that even when utterly spent, unobserved, and tempted beyond reason, your deepest nature would still default to honor. You gave them that certainty 7 days ago. That is why the crown is now yours. So tonight, when the higher courts activate your graduation protocol at 3:33 a.m. and your energy field is briefly lifted to integrate those 3 empowerments, hold this truth close. With great authority comes great accountability. Channel your spiritual authority to bless and liberate, never to dominate. Anchor your energetic sovereignty. In peace, never in ego. Exercise your intuitive discernment to shield and clarify, never to condemn or separate. If you live this way, if you wield power with humility, if you serve rather than seek to be served, then that crown will never be revoked. It will gradually become an inseparable aspect of your essence. But the moment has now come to unveil the deeper reason you specifically are being crowned at this exact turning point in collective history. It was never random. It was never mere personal achievement. Your particular path, the loneliness, the unseen trials, the precise way you were forged, has prepared you perfectly for what humanity is now entering. The world is crossing into an era of massive, irreversible change. I am not speaking of dramatic end times predictions. I am pointing to unmistakable patterns already visible to anyone willing to look without illusion. Ancient structures are crumbling. Long-trusted institutions are losing legitimacy at accelerating speed. Blind faith in external authorities is dissolving across entire populations. In the midst of that upheaval, humanity will urgently need living proof that peace, integrity, and genuine hope can endure when everything familiar falls apart. You are being prepared to become one of those proofs, not because you hold magical solutions to every global crisis, but because your own journey has already demonstrated that it is possible to pass through private devastation, through isolation, betrayal, exhaustion, injustice, and emerge not hardened, not resentful, not broken beyond repair, but more grounded, more awake, more compassionate than before. When others encounter you in the days and years ahead, they won't necessarily hear a lecture. They will feel something different in your presence, a quiet stability amid chaos, a steady light that refuses to flicker even when darkness presses in, and many will quietly wonder, how is this person still standing? What allows them to remain kind when the world rewards cruelty? Your answer will not be a doctrine you recite. It will be the evidence of a life transformed. It will be the character you forged in moments no one else witnessed. It will be the integrity you protected when surrender would have been simpler and safer. That is the teaching the planet hungers for right now. Not more beautiful theories, not more polished teachings, but embodied examples of what real inner change looks like. Tonight, when heaven places the crown upon you, you are not merely being rewarded, you are being officially commissioned as one of those living examples. Your assignment is not to rescue all of humanity, it is to shine clearly enough that the specific souls whose journeys mirror yours can recognize that another way is possible and choose it for themselves. That single purpose is more than sufficient. So accept your crown tonight with a heart full of thanks, carry it tomorrow with grounded humility, and wield it for the rest of your days with unwavering honor, because that is the mark of true chosen ones, not those who claim superiority over the masses, but those who prove dependable in ways few ever achieve. You are that dependable soul, and tonight the heavens declare it openly. All that isolation that felt so meaningless, it was your ultimate trial, and you conquered it. Welcome to the moment of your crowning. If you sense deep WN, that you overcame your level 3 trial 7 days ago and stand ready for heaven's recognition tonight at 3:33, drop 777 in the comments to send out that vibration of soul completion far and wide. Subscribe to this channel and enable every notification so you never miss the next divine disclosure on how your path as a chosen one unfolds beyond ordinary perception. Pass this video to someone else who senses they too have finished their inner forging and awaits their crowning, because in this turning point for the planet, Chosen ones must spot each other and stand together. And if these words have stirred your deepest spirit, if you feel drawn to sustain this mission of awakening, a super thanks gift keeps these truths streaming to hungry hearts. Every offering of generosity circles back to you, amplified beyond measure. United, we ascend higher. Your crowning initiates tonight at 3:33. Prepare your spirit. Receive your crown tonight with deep gratitude. Wear it tomorrow with quiet humility, and carry it through every remaining day with unbreakable integrity, because this is what genuine chosen ones do. Not because they imagine themselves better than the rest of humanity, but because they have become trustworthy in ways most souls never reach. You are that trustworthy one, and tonight the celestial realms officially affirm it. Every stretch of loneliness that once seemed cruel and pointless was your culminating examination, and you passed. Welcome, beloved soul, to your coronation. If your inner knowing tells you that you overcame the level 3 trials 7 days ago, and you are prepared to receive heaven's formal acknowledgement tonight at 3:33, write 777 in the comments now. Let that number ripple outward as a frequency of completed initiation. Subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications so you continue receiving the next layers of revelation about how your journey as a chosen one functions at frequencies far beyond ordinary sight. Share this message with another soul who quietly senses they too have finished their sacred forging and stands on the threshold of being crowned. Because in this decisive chapter of Earth's transformation, chosen ones must recognize one another and rise together. And if these words have moved something profound within you, if you feel called to help sustain this stream of awakening that reaches thousands still searching for home, consider leaving a super thanks. Every gesture of support, no matter the size, creates a sacred circuit. Truth amplified, hearts touched, light extended. What you give returns multiplied in ways your mind cannot yet calculate. Together we rise. Your coronation begins tonight at 3:33. Be present, be ready, be who you have already become.